1. Write a short note on Champaron Struggle, Ahmedabad cotton mill strike and peasant struggle in Kedah, the struggle of the indigo farmers in Champaron. It was took place in 1917. Gandhiji's involvement in the problems of the indigo farmers in Champaron compelled the authorities to pass laws in favor of the indigo farmers. Gandhiji solved the problem of peasants. SSLC History Capsule Haisna, VKD page 18b, Ahmedabad Cotton Mill Strike 1918. Gandhiji involved in this strike following his satyagraha. The authorities agreed to increase the wages of the employees and the strike came to an end. See Peasant Struggle in Kedah 1918. Because of the drought and crop failure, farmers in Kedah were living in utter misery. The rulers decided to collect tax from these poor villagers. Gandhiji started satyagraha and protested against that decision and advised the people not to pay tax. Finally, the authorities were forced to reduce tax rates. 2. Which act resulted in the Jallianwala Bagh massacre? And Rowlatt Act 3. Which incident forced Gandhiji to stop non-cooperation movement? And Chauri Chaura Incident 4. Results of Gandhiji's struggle. It popularized Gandhiji's ideologies and method of protest. His methods of protest attracted even the common man to the movement. The city-centric national movement spread to the rural areas. He became a national leader acceptable to all strata of the society. 5. Rowlatt Act. On the pretext of preventing extremist activities, the British Parliament passed the Rowlatt Act in 1919 limiting the civil rights. It was recommended by Sir Sidney Rowlatt. As per this act, any person could be arrested and imprisoned without trial. SSLC History Capsule Haisna, VKD page 196. What are the features of non-cooperation movement? Lawyers shall boycott courts. The public shall boycott foreign products. Boycott elections returning the British awards and prizes. Students shall boycott English schools. 6. How did the Indian society respond to Gandhiji's appeal for non-cooperation? Farmers of Awadh refused to pay taxes. The tribal groups in Andhra entered the forest and violated forest law. Workers and lawyers boycotted their work and courts. Students quitted colleges and schools. The public burned foreign clothes on the street. 7. The Lahore Congress session was a turning point in the history of freedom movement in India. Explain. It held in 1929 under the chairmanship of Jawaharlal Nehru. The two important decision of the session was it declared that the ultimate aim of Indian freedom struggle was to attain complete freedom, Purna Swaraj. It also decided to start the civil disobedience movement under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. 9. Why did Gandhiji selected salt as a powerful weapon against the British? SSLC History Capsule Haisna, VKD page 20. Salt tax constituted 2/5 of the income collected by the British through taxes. Salt tax was a heavy burden for the poor people. There was 3-fold hike on salt price. The British government banned small-scale, indigenous salt production. 10. List out the proposals of the Mountbatten Plan. To divide Punjab, Bengal, to conduct a referendum to determine whether to add Northwest Frontier Province to Pakistan or not, to appoint a commission to determine the borders in Punjab, Bengal, to form a separate country in Muslim majority area. 11. What are the major peasant struggles held in India? Thebaga Struggle, Bengal Telangana Struggle, Andhra Pradesh Naval Mutiny, Bombay. 12. Who formed All India Trade Union Congress, ATUC, and what was their objective? And M.N. Joshi and Lala Lajpat Rai formed it. Its objectives are to organize and act as a working class to promote Indian working class for cooperate with the working class outside in India. So, History Capsule Haisna, VKD page 21. To participate actively in the Indian freedom struggle. 13. What are the earliest labor movements in India? And Ahmedabad Textile Association, Madras Labor Union. 14. Who formed All India Kisan Sabha? And N.G. Ranga. 15. What were the demands included in the Kisan Manifesto? And write off debts, cancel feudal taxes, recognize peasant unions, reduce 50% of land tax and lease charge, ensure minimum wage for agricultural workers. 16. Who formed Congress Socialist Party CISP? And Jai Prakash Narayanan in 1934. 17. Who formed Indian National Army INA? And Rash Bihari Bose. 18. Who formed Forward Bloc? And Subhash Chandra Bose. 19. Evaluate the contributions of the organizations and leaders of Indian national movement who differed from Gandhian methods and ideology. And revolutionaries from Punjab, Rajasthan, Bihar formed Hindustan Socialist Republican Association in 1928. Bhagat Singh Rajguru and Chandra Sekhar Azad were the leaders of it. Moreover, they formed a military wing called Republican Army. Silk History Capsule Haisna, VKD page 22. Revolutionary leaders like Bhagat Singh, who killed Saunders, the British police officer. Bhagat Singh and B.K. Dutt threw bombs at the Central Legislative Assembly. The other important revolutionary organizations are Abhinav Barath Society, V.D. Savakar, A New Zealand Samathai, Birendra Kumar Ghose, Poolan Bihari Das Gadar Party, Lala Hardale, Indian Republican Army. Sanya Sen. 20. Write about Quit India movement and its causes and Quit India movement of the 1942 was the last popular protest organized by the Indian National Congress, under the leadership of Gandhiji. It was a mass movement based on the ideology of non-violence. The major reasons for Quit India movement are following: reluctance of the British to implement constitutional reforms in India, public dissatisfaction with price hike and famine, the assumption that the British would be defeated in the Two World War. The result of the Quit India movement was SSLC history, capsule Hasna VKD page 23. The British government arrested leaders including Mahatma Gandhi. The uncontrolled people destroyed government offices, electric lines and transportation facilities. 21. Write a note on Jallianwala Bagh massacre. In 13th April 1919, the people of Punjab gathered in Jallianwala Bagh to protest against the arrest of Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu in relation with Rolot Act. The Army Chief General Dyer ordered the police to shoot the crowd. Many of them were killed and thousands were injured. The event is known as Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Lesson